Right, hey guys, bloody roasting. How you all doing? So let's start this conspiracy theory stuff, right? So I'm taking like samples from all different sources, and this one happens to be from a Muslim. And it's a Muslim reporter from. Oh my God, it's Mehdi Hassan. Oh, yeah, this person I cannot stand. I've just read the name there. I'm like, why does it need to be this person? But okay, here we go. We're having to read Mehdi Hassan, sorry. I swear to God, like this guy. I mean, how long ago was this? This is 2014. Because this guy's just got more radical as the years went by. Like, do you just get more radical as you get older? I don't know. But, like, oh, okay. I can't, oh God, okay. Inside jobs and Israeli stooges. Why is the Muslim world in thrall to conspiracy theories? Why are so many of my fellow Muslims so gullible and so quick to believe bonkers conspiracy theories? I've got a idea on that, but I'll show you that in a little while. How are... I can't believe I'm reading this guy's story. How are the peddlers of paranoia amass such influence within Muslim communities? When the credulous Muslims stop learning on the conspiracy crutch, we blame sinister outside powers for our own problems. See, this guy used to be alright. Like, what the hell happened to him? It's like, you don't know. He ended up falling down the conspiracy crutch, I guess. Extremism, corruption, and the rest, and paint ourselves as helpless victims rather than independent agents. Oh, well said, Mehdi Hassan. Well said. I've never met a community who see themselves as victims as much as yours do. Honest to God, like I just see you. You can look in the dictionary. Sorry, look up the word victim, and there's a bloody yeah. The there's a Muslim standing there waving at you from the dictionary. Oh dear. Alright, so it's going on to say, do you know about Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi? Yeah, I know who that is. That's the he died like a dog. The guy that Trump killed. He's not missed, trust me. He was Al-Qaeda's leader. Excuse me. The leader of ISIS. Sorry, there's that many bloody terrorist groups out there that, like, I mean, did you know, like, the top 10 terrorist groups are all Islamic? Like, I find that kind of weird, but, yeah, so it's easy to get confused, isn't it? Because you've got Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthi, ISIS-K, Al-Qaeda, Taliban, like, they go on all... Boko Haram one and down. Oh, they just go on and on and on. And then there's a few in Nigeria and So anyway, ISIS. So did you know Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the leader of ISIS, was trained by Mossad and the CIA? Really? Well, was it? Like, I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true at all. Yeah, that's got to be one of their conspiracy theories. It's like the whole 9/11 was an inside job kind of thing, and it wasn't Arabs on the planes, and the planes were CGI, and yeah, that's ones like I've heard before, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that one was nuts, like. That they CGI'd in the plane. So, yeah. Okay. So anyway, so the CIA and Mossad have been really busy here, haven't they? Training. They didn't train him very well because they ended up killing him. Well, America did anyway. Uh, so, Ibrahim, I'm going to butcher these names. Awad Ibrahim Ali Al Badri Al Samari. Oh, Christ. Let me buy a vowel. Al Samarai. uh, but Simon Elliott. Or that he's a Jewish actor who was recruited by the Israelis to play the part of the world's most wanted terrorist. What? So this is like one of the. I've not heard this conspiracy theory from them. So Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, his real name is Anwar Ibrahim al. The rest of the alphabet letters, aka Simon Elliott, is really a Jewish actor who was recruited by Israel to play the world's most wanted terrorist. Where have I heard that plot before? Oh yeah, Iron Man. That's just from Iron Man. Didn't like they have like the guy, the actor Trevor that was played the mandolin or some kind of like name like that. Iron Man 2 or 3 or something like that. That was the plot of that. Yeah, that's a new one to me. So they've hired an actor and then assassinated their own actor. Like, what the hell are they talking about? This is so stupid. So stupid. If the messages in my email inbox and my Twitter timeline and on my Facebook page are anything to go by, plenty of Muslims are not only willing to believe this nonsensical drivel, but are super keen to share it with their friends. Yeah, I've noticed that. Like, as I said, like, I've got Muslim friends and I've got to sit there and listen about the CGI aeroplanes that flew into the World Trade Center and the fact that it was Israel that did it, not not anybody else, you know. And what was the other one that who's that fool that like started it all? Like I know our governments are like perfect and stuff like that. I know that, but like CGI and planes and that, and then honestly. So yeah, I had nonsensical dribble, but are super keen to share it with their friends. This bizarre claim that the NSA documents released by Edward Snowden prove the US and Israel behind al-Baghdadi's actions have gone viral. It's only gone viral in their world because, like, I never knew about this. Like, and I don't believe Edward Snowden's ever made that claim at all. I think this is, their lack of imagination run amok. I really do. There's only one problem. It's utter BS. I just said that. Glenn Greenwald, the investigative journalist who helped break the NSA story, told me Snowden never said anything like that, and no NSA document suggested it. Snowden's lawyer, Ben Weisner, has called the story a hoax. So you can still, but this is the thing with the conspiracy theories, especially with the Islamic community. You can show them evidence that it's like not true. You could literally show them a movie of factual evidence that something actually happened, and they'll still say it's a conspiracy theory or it didn't happen. I could literally show my friend someone being murdered on videotape and say that I don't know. We'll use this Baghdadi guy, the apparent Israeli actor, did it, and but he's really like a Muslim, and he will to my face tell me that it didn't happen. That it's made up. It's a conspiracy theory made up by the Jews to make the Islamic communities, or made up by the West to make Islamic communities look bad. That's honestly like responses I've had before. Millions of Muslims across the world have got a soft spot of such hoaxes. Conspiracy theories are rife in both Muslim majority countries and Muslim communities. Here in the West, the events of 9/11 and the subsequent war on terror unleashed a vast array of hoaxers, hucksters, and fanatics from Birmingham to Beirut. Yeah, I bet. Like some of the conspiracy theories around that are, yeah. On a visit to Iraq in 2002, I met a senior Islamic cleric who told me that Jews, what did I tell you? Everything's always the Jews. Well, it was the Jews! The Jews did it! The moons exploded. Who did it? The Jews! It was the Jews did it. Oh, the mail's not arrived. Where is it? The Jews have stole it. They're unbelievable, these people. Oh, here we go. All right, here we are. On a visit to Iraq, he met this Islamic cleric, so it's an Islamic scholar. He told him that the Jews, not the Arabs, but the Jews, were responsible for the attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. I told you this story. Like, I've had the same drivel told to me by Muslim friends that it was the Jews that did it. And do you want me to tell you what their proof is? That on that day, some Jews were saw dancing on a car near the World Trade Center. That's the proof. That's the proof that they were celebrating. They never mention anything about like the huge like street party that went on in Palestine when it happened, you know, and Osama bin Laden being praised and stuff like that. No, it was the Jews. The Jews did it. Christ Almighty! I swear to God, see if the sun exploded, he'd blame the Jews. He loudly repeated the Middle Eastern's most popular and pernicious 9/11 conspiracy theory, that 4,000 Jews didn't turn up for work on the 11th of September. Oh, I heard this one as well. There was like a mass alert that went out to all the Jews that they should not go to work on September 11th because the Jews were going to attack the trade centre. So all the Jews stayed home. Unfortunately, that is just not true though, because tons of Jews died on September 11th. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like some of the oh god. There is, of course, no evidence for this outlandish and offensive claim. It's absolutely offensive. The truth is that more than 200 Jews, including several Israeli citizens, were killed in the attacks. I've just said that. On the Twin Towers, I guess they must have missed the memo for Mossad. Yeah. I guess they're like fax machine, like, got, I don't know, maybe a Jew snuck into their house and pulled the plug on it. I don't know. Yeah, the denialism persists. I've said that as well. They deny it to they're green in the face that that it would be the Jews that did it, not them. It's nothing to do with us, it was the Jews. A Pew poll in 2011, a decade after 9/11, found that a majority of respondents in countries such as Egypt, Jordan and Lebanon refused to believe the attackers were carried out by Arab members of Al-Qaeda. Yeah, of course you don't believe it. There is no Muslim public in which ever even 30% accept that Arabs conducted the attacks. So there is no Muslim public in which even that's you round up like a majority of like Muslims. 30% of them. 30% of them. Which even 30% accept. So only 30% of them, accept that Arabs were part of the 9/11 attack. 70% of them, the rest of them, believe it was the Jews. The blindness isn't peculiar to the Arab world or the Middle East. Consider Pakistan home to many of the world's weirdest and wackiest conspiracies. Yeah, that's true. That's so true. Some Pakistanis say the schoolgirl Malala Yusuf, what the hell? Like, I don't want to be Malala Yousafzai. It's like, oh my god, it's like it's like learning to read again, trying to read these names. Yousafzai, yeah, is a CIA agent. Others think so they think some Pakistani schoolgirl's a CIA agent. What did she do? Like, this is a new one to me. Others think that the heavy floods of 2010, which killed 2,000 Pakistanis, were caused by secret US military technology, and 2 of the 3 don't believe Osama bin Laden was killed. Yeah, so they think that it's sad that 2,000 Pakistanis died, but they think the CIA pressed a button and caused that flood and killed 2,000 of them. They believe that to be true. Like, honest to God. Here's Nigeria. We moved to Nigeria now. Consider also Nigeria, where there was a polio outbreak. I wonder who'll get the blame for that one. Of course it won't be them. It's going to be like the Jews or somewhere else like that. In 2003, after local people boycotted the vaccine, claiming it was a Western plot to infect Muslims with HIV, then there was Indonesia, the world's most populous Muslim majority country, where leading politicians and journalists blamed the 2002 Bali bombings on the United States agents. Why are so many of my fellow Muslims so gullible and so quick to believe bonkers conspiracy theories? How have the peddlers of paranoia amassed such influence within Muslim communities? It's the IQ. I'll prove it to you. It's the IQ. The IQ in these countries is abysmal. So you could literally, I don't know, like I'm shocked, like, that some people even know how to tie their shoe. And it'll bring me on to, like, my next subject to this video, which really made me angry, but let's, like, carry on with this. Receiving actual conspiracies, France and Britain secretly conspire to carve up the Middle East between them. God, like, no, we don't want the Middle East. No one wants the Middle East. We don't want, like, why do you think, like, no one's, like, wanting to take in the Palestinian people? Why do you think, like, the British people are so annoyed that our countries are being overridden by immigration? Because that's because we want to carve up and take over your countries. Why are none of us moving to your countries then? There's a reason why. Like, because we know they're shit and we don't want them. We don't want your countries. We want you to stay in your country and fix it and make it better for you. Don't come to our country and try to change it. And let's have a look. So, they also conspired to attack Egypt. Did we? Never heard that one. With Israel's help. Oh, really? That's a new one as well. Therefore, provoking the Suez Crisis in 1956. Oh, and it turned out there weren't any weapons of mass destruction in Iraq 2003, despite what the dossiers claimed. Now, that one I'm going to disagree with him on, because there weren't weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. There weren't. I once asked a Pakistani politician, Imran Khan, or him, he's in prison now anyway, so why his fellow citizens were so keen on conspiracy theories. They're lied to all the time by their leaders, he replied. It's if a society is used to listening to lies all the time, everything becomes a conspiracy theory. That's true. But it's said in their book that they're allowed to lie. It's that Allah's the greatest of deceivers, so of course they're going to be suspicious of everybody, even their God's a liar. And we've been lied to argument going so far. Skepticism may be evidence of a healthy and this goes way beyond skepticism, like the conspiracy theories that run through this community mindset. But conspiracism is a virus that feeds off insecurity and bitterness. As a former Pakistani diplomat, Hussein Haqqani has admitted the contemporary Muslim fascination for conspiracy theories is a convenient way of explaining the powerlessness of a community. That there was at one time the world's economic, scientific, and political and military leader. And that'll bring me on, like that point I want to make clear. Yes, this is true. You go back thousands of years ago, and in the Middle East were leaders in subjects like mathematics and many inventions and such. But then comes along Muhammad, we'll say, and all that stops, especially for females, because they're not allowed to do certain things now anymore. Not allowed to. Let me just show you. I've got it here. Let me just show you. Here. The Taliban's restriction on women, right? And this annoyed me because we send nearly £1 billion a year to the Taliban in aid. Women are required to wear burqas or Arab-style hijabs in public. They've also come in to wear those face-covering things that don't look like bee masks now. They're also banned from speaking loudly. So they've got to whisper. They're banned from speaking loudly, or they're banned from singing, even in private. So you know what it's like when you're in the house and you're getting in the shower and you flick on, like, I don't know, like your music on it. Welcome to the Hotel California. And you're giving it, like, singing into, I don't know, your toothbrush in the shower, like your Madonna or something. Yeah, that they're not allowed to do that in Iraq. It's illegal. Women are even in private. Education. The Taliban have restricted access to education for girls, including banning co-education and prohibiting girls from studying certain religious subjects. Employment. Women are prohibited from working in most sectors, including government agencies, NGOs, and international organisations. They are also banned from decision making in managerial positions, because we know in the Quran it says a woman's only as half as clever as a man, but that doesn't equate to the problem that with this IQ study that's been done, where the average IQ in these countries is 60, which is medically retarded, and that's in medical terminology. That doesn't excuse the men. Even the women, yeah, you can say, like, yeah, could be why, like, the women aren't as academically bright or doing well, because they're not allowed to do anything. It's like they live in a prison. They live in a prison. Movement. Women are not allowed to travel more than 45 miles without a male relative. They're also banned from public parks, public baths, and historic places. They're banned from everywhere. Marriage. The Taliban have placed restrictions on the right to marriage. Most women are married right out of high school, and many live as housewives. That's the jobs that they do. Whispering as housewives, not allowed to leave the house. Healthcare. Let's have a look at that. Women's access to healthcare and cultural engagement is restricted. Imagine that. You're sick and you need to see a doctor and you're not allowed to. Mental health. The UN reported that 68% of women in Afghanistan reported having very bad mental health. No bloody wonder. Imagine having to live like these women. Imagine that. It sounds horrendous. Horrendous. So there's an excuse why the IQ. Let me just show you. Okay, just a second. Alright, let me go to it. Here we are. The vast majority of people in the United States have IQs between 80 and 120. An IQ of 100 is considered average. To be diagnosed as having mental retardation, a person must have an IQ below 70 to 75, i.e. significantly below average. If a person scores below 70 on a properly administered test and scores low, and it goes on, but I've obviously not screenshotted that part, sorry. So I put as 60 IQ smart, 40 to 54 It would mean it's moderate mental disability, 50 to 69. Mild mental disability, 70 to 84. Borderline mental disability, and 85 to 114 average intelligence. And that was like looking at lowest IQ ever recorded. So, and then I went to, so what's the average Arab IQ? The reported IQ scores for Arabs, often ranging between 60 and 89, have raised concerns and sparked debates about the intelligence of Arab populations. The average IQ in Israel was 92.43. So it's nothing to do with the fact that they're Muslim or Jew or like Christian or whatever. It's because the Muslims live in Israel as well and are doing perfectly fine academically. 2 million Muslims live in Israel as well. So is this the reason why their countries aren't? It's got to be. It's making me think like this has got to be why the reason their countries aren't advancing. Like it's got to be like they're not. There's no scientific breakthroughs. There's no like inventions. There's no there's just no academic achievements. Like there's nothing. I'm not even thinking like the last 50 years. I can think of nothing. But you go back like those thousands of years ago, and like these people in the Arabs like were masters in mathematics and stuff like that. So what the hell happened? Like, and it seems like since Islam's been introduced, where the women you can understand, you know, because they're basically prisoners in their own lives. But what's the guy's excuse? What's the men's excuse of why their IQs are so severely low? And then that made me extremely angry because, like, finding this statistic out made me realise my government's been lying to me. Now, I know we get told, oh, these, like, illegal immigrants and stuff like that. They're all, like, we know most of them are economic migrants. We know that. But they lie to us and tell us that, like the legal ones and stuff that they bring over, because we've got way too much legal migration as well. It's way too high for the size of our country. But they're telling us, like, the people that they're bringing here from these Arab nations are all doctors, lawyers, rocket scientists, I don't know, like, chemists, biologists, extremely like advanced in their professions. But how can that be when I and I've went down the rabbit hole with this, looking into this, when the average IQ in these countries is like one's like even at like 60. So you've got the UK one. I even checked out like the US, you know, the highest is China, by the way. They've got the highest IQ. So if you're China, you know, you're doing really well. So how come, so let's go back to here. So your IQ between like 70, sorry, I said 60 before, that's not what I meant, 70 and 75 means you're significantly below average, meaning you're a medical diagnosis would be you would be diagnosed as being mentally retarded. And that's a horrible word to use, I know that. But mentally disabled. So how can it be that all these people are doctors and surgeons, and I mean, I would sooner let my neighbour's pet cat do heart surgery on me than I would one of these people, because they obviously do not have the mental capacity for a job like that. That makes me worried now, you know. It makes me worried. So why is our government lying and telling us that we're bringing all these we're bringing up we need all these skilled workers, you know, like what skilled? What are they skilled at? Making tunnels? I don't know, like skilled at what? I choose this like I don't know, like there's 2-year-olds that are smarter than this. Is this why like like these communities keep to themselves? They don't like they can't learn like the language. Why their countries are just like not prosperous. I mean, the only thing that they've got really going for them is the fact that they're in a lucky location where there happens to be liquid gold underneath their feet. But when you go to places like like Qatar and Dubai and stuff like that, it's not their people they've got working on these oil rigs or designing them and that. It's people from like China and stuff like that. And I know like the Chinese aren't perfect either. Like, they're responsible for a lot of intellectual property theft. But you can't take away the fact that Chinese students are some of the highest the highest they do the best, you know, at things like in university and stuff like that, highest grades, that kind of thing. So that peeved me right off, because we're obviously being lied to by being told that we're bringing geniuses over here, and we're not. You know, and I don't like pointing out like because obviously is this why like as well, like, because it's also came out that like sloths of them aren't even working. Most of them are sitting on their ass at home on benefits, on disability benefits. Is this why? Because they just don't have the mental intelligence to be able to even go out and work. So why the hell are these people in our countries? Like, what benefit are they bringing to our country? None whatsoever. And I'm not saying it's all Arabs. You know, it's obviously not, because there's some exceptionally intelligent Arabs, but it's like it seems to be Arabs who have like grew up in America, where there's good schooling, Israel, Britain. You know, I'm talking about Arabs like from the Middle East. How come they're not doing well? And is it because of the draconian laws there that hold everyone back, where they can't do make any scientific progress, anything like that? I don't know. I'd love to hear your opinions, like in the chat. Why do you think like why do you think like this is a cause in these countries? Why do you think like that this is happening? And the reason, like, I was looking at the foreign aid, and I'll do a video on that maybe tomorrow. I've still got the child one to do. That's the one I'm dreading the most. But I was looking at foreign aid that our country, Britain, was sending to other countries, and I was absolutely disgusted at the treatment of women in Afghanistan by a terrorist. We said this is terrorists we're sending money to. Remember, £1 billion a year, and the women basically have no life whatsoever. Nothing. They're not even. They don't even have a life. They exist. They exist there. So them, it can be excused. And then you saw it. You saw it when Britain and America and whatever were in Afghanistan. Women were becoming judges. Women were flourishing. Universities, etc. It happened in Lebanon and in Iran when the Shah was in charge. People were doing well. It's when these fanatical religious I don't know, when these types take over, that's what the population just seems to get, and it's not got better. If anything, it's getting worse. Like I try to follow a trajectory on it, and it's so start off. So you'll start off like maybe the 1400 years ago before Muhammad, because he was illiterate. He couldn't read and write, and why would you want to follow someone that can't bloody read or write themselves? Like you. So. You to follow the trajectory of that, and it starts off like you'll say like at 100, and then it just gets lower and lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. It just gets worse and worse and worse, and it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. The more fanatic and is especially around things like Sharia law and stuff are concerned. But for our government to gaslight us and say they're bringing us the best, yeah. They think we're stupid. They think we're stupid. Honestly, they must think like they must think that we have the mental intelligence the people in the Middle East as well. But I'm sorry, no, we don't. We absolutely don't, because we might not be able to look up like we're certain. You hide a lot from us. I'll put it that way. Our government hides a lot from us, like crime statistics and the country of origin of who committed the crime and stuff like that. Things like jobs and all that kind of stuff. They hide a lot. But then you can just go and look at statistics that are done by researchers in other countries, and are done by respected research teams and stuff like that. And and from that you can glean until you start to, like, the door starts to crack open a little bit, and you start to see the truth of it a little bit more and more and more. And the fact of the matter is, we're not bringing doctors and lawyers and things like that here. No, we're not, because that's preposterous to assume a doctor is work. You would even allow a doctor with the intelligence of 60 anywhere near a human being. I would sue the hell out of the government if I found out that my surgeon or my lawyer, or I don't even know, like my is this why, like, we have like these I don't know, planes falling to bits and stuff like that, because they're giving the jobs to the people that just don't have the capacity to do them. I do not know it is confusing as hell to me, and I've got an IQ well above, well above like 75. I can assure you that. But even I'm at a loss as to why. The only reason I can think they're saying this is to obviously gaslight us, and they're bringing these people over here to maybe do like menial labour jobs, like I don't know, picking vegetables. I'm just not too sure. I know like they've got them doing like care work, looking after the elderly, which again is extremely concerning, because that's like administering medication and that to and looking after someone's elderly loved one, and by the sounds of it, like these someone like this would like trip over their own shoelace, you know what I mean, given half the chance. So how the hell are they going to like look after your loved one when they can barely maybe like count to 10? And don't think like I take great enjoyment out of like saying this stuff. Like I really don't. It's just it's angering our government's lied to us. But there's got something going on with these countries as to why like they're not prospering, and yeah, and the only like conclusion that I can come to is the fact like women aren't allowed to do anything. Other religions are treated like, yeah, they're not even treated like, they are known as second class citizens. Women are the exact same. The only people that have the rights are the men, and like and they all seem to have superiority complexes, and they think that they're they think they're the master kind of people, a bit much like Nazism. But like, how can that be so when the facts don't prove that? The facts actually prove otherwise, that you're not the brightest people, It proves otherwise. Just saying. Just saying. Alright, I'm gonna go now. I love you all so much, and I'll be back later with another